Now we come to the last part of today's lecture. Now we have Miss Hardcastle on the stage. There is a maid with her. At this point, we get to know that Kate has already been informed that Marlo was the victim of one of Tony's tricks. Now, she has an idea that Marlo was less formal and more familiar with Mr. Hardcastle, not because he is an impudent young man, but because he is the victim of Tony's device and he mistook Mr. Hardcastle for an innkeeper. Now, we come to a very important detail in this act, which is the fact that Marlo also mistook Kate for a barmaid when she passed him by, because at this point Kate is dressed in a traditional and plain dress. When she dressed in a traditional and plain dress, he couldn't recognize her when she passed him by. Okay, so Kate is going to take advantage of this and disguise. This is the first time that we see disguise in this play, and disguise is also a form of deception. Okay, so she is in a sense going to continue Tony's device, because she is not going to tell him that he is deceived and he is a victim of Tony's device. Adding to that, she is adding another layer of deception by the fact that she is going to disguise herself as a barmaid. And as you know from the last lecture, Marlo is not anxious when he speaks to barmaids. Now I am going to read you the dialogue between Miss Hardcastle and the maid, because this is a very significant part of the play. Miss Hardcastle: what an unaccountable creature is that brother of mine to send them to the house as an inn. Ha ha ha, I do not wonder at his impudence. Now she has an excuse for him. Maid: but what is more, madam, the young gentleman, as you passed by in your present dress, asked me if you were the barmaid. He mistook you for the barmaid, madam. Miss Hardcastle: did he? Then as I live, I am resolved to keep up the delusion. You see, I am resolved to keep up the delusion. I am going to continue Tony's device. Okay? Tell me, Pimple, how do you like my present dress? Don't you think I look something like a cherry in the book stratagem? Cherry is a character in a comedy, a very famous comedy, whose father is an innkeeper. Okay? Maid: it is the dress, madam, that every lady wears in the country, but when she visits or receives company. Okay, so traditionally, this is the type of dress that women wear on day-to-day basis, except when they are having visits or receiving company. Miss Hardcastle: and are you sure he doesn't remember my face or person? Maid: certain of it. Miss Hardcastle: I vow I thought so, for though we spoke for some time together, yet his fears were such that he never once looked up during the interview. So he is not going to recognize her face, because in the very beginning he didn't look into her face. Okay, so now deceiving him is very easy. Indeed, if he had, my bonnet would have kept him from seeing me. Okay, this is like a headwear or something like that. Even if he looked into her eyes, he wouldn't be able to really recollect every detail and feature of her face. Maid: but what do you hope from keeping him in his mistake? So why do you plan to disguise and deceive him and keep up the delusion? Miss Hardcastle: in the first place, I shall be seen, and that is not a small advantage to a girl. who brings her face to market. Now, first of all, he is going to see me because in the first encounter, he didn't look into my face. Now, if I really want to win his consent of this marriage, he has to really look into my face. You see? And that is not a small advantage to a girl who brings her face to market. Miss Hardcastle, we do not agree on that. Then I shall perhaps make an acquaintance, and that is no small victory gained over one who never addresses any but the wildest of her sex. You see, if I stay Miss Hardcastle that he knows of, we will never be acquainted. Okay, but if I dress like a barmaid and pretend to be a barmaid, there will be a sort of acquaintance between us. Also because he is anxious when he speaks to fine women, so we are not going to have any sort of friendship, relationship, or acquaintance, or any sort of familiarity, whereas he is very accustomed to the wildest of our sex. It means common girls, if we may put it in this way, the wildest of her sex. But my chief aim is to take my gentleman of his guard, and like an invisible champion of romance, examine the giant force before I offer to combat. Very well put. She means in here, I would like to know him as a lover. Okay, I would like to discover his capabilities as a lover. Okay, I would like to see the other side of his personality that likes to be engaged in a romantic relationship or in a love affairs. Okay, she would like to know to discover that side of his personality. Maid, but you are sure you can act your part and disguise your face so that he may mistake that, as he has already mistaken your person? So are you going to really conceal your voice, okay, and deceive him in that department as well? Miss Hardcastle, never fear me. I think I have got the true bar can't. Did your owner call? Attend the line, the pipes and tobacco for the angel. The lamp has been outrageous this half hour. Maid, it will do, madam, but he is here. Exit, maid. That's everything from me today. If you have any question, you know where to go.